When I moved into my condo, I had those really old, ugly, outdated pot lights, and I did update them with this, which is much nicer. It was super simple. You just screw this into the light bulb socket and then you get a nice flush mount LED, but I decided it's time for something even better. So the problem though is that it usually requires going up into the attic, changing out the can light fixture, but I found something that makes it much simpler. There is a kit. I don't have the box, but anymore, I threw this out yesterday. I think there's two different ones, but Westinghouse makes a recessed light converter, which also involves just screwing into the existing light bulb socket. There are wires, so you do have to do some wiring, but this way you can install pretty much any light that you want. I found these pretty lights. I have 3 recessed lights in the ceiling in the kitchen, so I've already put up 2, and today I'm going to show you how to go ahead and install this, and I'm going to install the 3rd one. So let's get started. Before we get started, this is actually the recessed lighting that I changed out with the LED kit, and these are the 2 lights that I've already installed. First, make sure you turn off the breaker. That's very important. I had used some caulking because I actually had my can lights are a really odd size. So I needed them to sit a little more flush. So first I got to get them out of here. This was just screwed in really simply and put up there. But time for an update. Because I have ceiling medallions, I want them to sit flush, so I just got to get this caulking off. Let's install the wiring. Just screw this in the light bulb socket. So here's a shot of the can light. So these were the wires that we just screwed into the light bulb socket that's already up there. And then this is the mounting hardware. So you have to remove this part. Oh, you can't see. This is basically the piece that holds the light up so it doesn't come crashing down on your head. And the worst part about working up here is when you drop things, you gotta go get them. Okay, so this is, undo the screw in the middle, and then you can adjust the width. So it works for different size recessed lights, or I should say different size can light, since this is the actual can part. The hardest part of this whole thing is screwing this in to the metal. It comes with self-drilling screws, I'll show you in a moment, but piercing the metal isn't easy. So what I'm gonna do is, there's some existing holes. I'm gonna use one existing hole that's already in the can, and then I'll fight with the other side for the second hole. This is the self-drilling screw that it comes with. And it's just gonna go in here. We're gonna screw this in, so one on each side. So first I'm using the pre-existing hole that's already up here. That was the easy one. I had better luck yesterday pre-drilling the hole, the smaller drill bit. I'm gonna try that again today. All right, these screws are designed to be used with a socket, so that's what I have on my drill bit. Then you gotta go fish for it. Oh, there's plenty extra. So luckily the counter's not as far as the floor. Let's see, try again. All right, ooh, dirt's falling. That's secure. I'm gonna go ahead and take our wires and put one on each side of the mount so that they can stay separate. And now we need to screw this back on. Again, this is the actual mount that's gonna hold the new light up. And I have a flashlight right in my face. That's not very convenient. Just 2 screws to put this back up and a washer. The washer is only required if your can light is over 5 inches. Okay, then there's a green grounding wire, and that just gets clipped to the edge of the can and screwed in. I need a flathead though. All right, I have the flathead, so this just gets screwed on to the edge of the can. I pre-painted the ceiling medallions yesterday and glued them up to the metal backer plate, just using some CA glue and some activator. This way they'd be all ready to go for today's install. All right, we got that ground clip finally installed. Now we're going to take the metal cover plate that I glued the medallion to, and that just slips over. Like so. Line it up the way you want. Okay, and then we need to install the light fixtures mounting bracket. The screws have nuts so that you can sort of adjust how tight to the ceiling it needs to be. And these need to come off. And we're going to use the shorter screws that are provided in the light kit. The ones provided with the light fixture are too long. So just stick all those wires through. And actually it's easier to get your screws started, not upside down. Just put this one in here. There we go. Now when I hold it upside down, I won't lose my screws or my marbles. Okay, wiring up a light. Now, I'm not a licensed electrician. Keep that in mind. You should consult one. We're going to take the ground wire and slip it over the screw. And then attach it to the ground wire on the light. I want that tight. Fills. There we go. So copper to copper, black to black, white to white. So you just twist the wires around one another. And they do recommend putting the black wires on one side and the white on the other, which is why When I pulled them through the mounting bracket, I did one on each side. So twist these together. Screw on your wire nuts. And same for the ground. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and push the white out of the way a little bit. And the black on the opposite side. And that copper wire is much shorter. Okay, now make sure that you have these little guys are what holds the base on. Okay, so all of this get, okay then. Well, you see now the problem is, it's not gonna hold. Why I fished that off the floor. Let's hope. An assistant would be very handy. Okay, so shovel the wires in here out of the way so that this can sit flush. Okay. Don't drop these. Give your arms a break while you fish out the other one and your neck. All right, and that helps flush the medallion to the ceiling. Just add a little bit of caulking in there. It's not perfect, but okay. Now at this point, I recommend inserting a light bulb and testing it. So let's grab one. All right. And the breaker's back on. Let's flip the switch and see if we have power. There we go. Very nice. All right, so take the light bulb back out and there's this big piece screws on, and this is what holds the dome of the light fixture, or I don't know what to call it. The big pretty piece. And this gets installed, and then we just screw this back on, and that holds this up. All right, put your light bulb back in. All right, now we'll go turn the breaker back on and test it out. And just like that, we have 3 nice new pretty light fixtures with ceiling medallions. There's no crawling in the attic required, no removal of the old can lights. It's pretty simple. All thanks to the Westinghouse recessed light converter kit. Thanks for watching. This is a bad angle. That looks horrible.